Not by machines alone will we win this war. And with those words, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt forged the creation of the United Service Organizations for National Defense in February 1941, which he charged with strengthening the morale of America's military men and women by keeping them connected to the things the president knew that they would be missing, of course, keeping them connected, things that they would become separated from in service to their country. The U.S. had not yet entered World War II, but in preparation for the inevitable, President Roosevelt challenged 6 private organizations: the YMCA, YWCA, National Catholic Community Service, the National Jewish Welfare Board, the Travelers Aid Association, and the Salvation Army, to create an organization that would keep service members in touch with the bonds of family and the comforts of home, no matter where or under what conditions they served. And today we celebrate 75 years of that important work. My name is Stacia Naquin. I'm with Channel 12 and a very proud volunteer with the USO and an advisory council member of USO Arizona. I'm a military kid. I still feel like a military kid. All the grandparents were in the Army. Dad was in the Navy, cousins in the Air Force. So we are very, very proud military families through and through, for sure. And we know that's why you are here to celebrate with us today. As we mark 75 years of the USO today, you will notice a new hashtag. As you are taking your pictures and you are posting to social media, we hope you'll use that new hashtag. It's hashtag USO Connects, which truly highlights the work of this organization, keeping our service members and their families connected and connected to home as they serve our country across the world. Truly, the USO connects. So next up, we want to introduce our USO Center Director, Carla Garcia.
Good morning. My name is Carla Garcia, and I am the Director for USO Arizona. I'm new. I joined in September of 2005, so I'm learning. But I have a great team of over 250 volunteers. Many of them are here today in the blue and gold USO 75 years anniversary shirts. They're our ambassadors for today. They're your tour guides today. They're knowledgeable. Many of them have served. Many of them are spouses, mothers, fathers, veterans. We could not do what we do and provide the mission of providing connections and strengthening America's troops without our volunteers. They deliver our mission. For 75 years, they've been delivering it strong and adapting to the changing needs of the military along the way. The USO worldwide has 160 centers. 90 of them are here in the United States, and approximately 50 of them are at airports, which we're delighted, because our airport is our base of operation here in Arizona. We are growing the USO nationally and internationally with centers opening every year, and I'll have more announcements about that later with some excitement about USO Arizona. But I want to turn the remarks over next to a strong supporter of USO Arizona, who has been a champion of us from the very beginning here in Terminal 4, from the ribbon cutting to sponsoring us and promoting our ability to put up signage through the airport. And he promotes us through I hear his announcements all the time, the Honorable Greg Stanton.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy birthday, USO. You look great for 75. And we are proud. This is America's friendliest airport at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and today we are America's USO friendliest airport, and will continue to be. We want to be America's best city for active duty military women and men and veterans. So I see some in uniform already, but if you are active duty or a veteran, please raise your hand right now so the rest of us can give you a big round of applause. Thank you to your service to our country. And you are so nice to say what we do to support USO here at Sky Harbor. That's the least we can do, is to provide great space, great real estate here at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. But it's really you, Carla, you and your team that make it happen. The volunteers, the contributors that want to do everything we can do to support our active duty military women and men, many of whom on their way to hopefully visit friends and family, many of whom are on their way to serve this country in far off locations to defend our freedom. So it is the least we can do. We got to do more to support USO and our active duty military women and men. And that's supported by myself and every single member of our city council, especially Councilman Bill Gates. I think Laura Etta is chief of staff, and Bill wasn't able to make it, but there is no stronger supporter of USO and active duty military veterans, military active duty and veterans than Bill Gates. So just want to say thank you. Please tell him I mentioned him, because I need his vote next week. Anyway, we appreciate that very, very much. Look, Phoenix, not only here at the airport, but overall wants to be known as the most military-friendly city in America. And USAA, a couple years ago, did a study. What city in the country is the most friendly to active duty and our veterans? Phoenix finished second. And people thought that was great. And I said, that's one spot too low. Pittsburgh, here we come. Phoenix is going to be the #1 city supporting our active duty military women and men and veterans. So we're going to take it to a whole new level, whether it be here at USO, making sure that we continue to end all homelessness among our veteran population, helping with employment services, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that veterans who are leaving the military look to this city as a place where they can come and find a home and will be welcome. So happy 75th birthday to the USO. This is a special place. And the USO has been doing this since World War II, since 1941. And you mentioned the origins of it and what a great history this organization has. USO Arizona provides a military hospitality suite, of course staffed by incredible volunteers, many of whom are here. We thank you for what you do to support the USO every single day. They give countless hours of their time. They could be doing anything else, but they choose to be here supporting our military women and men. You have a beautiful cafe stocked with complimentary snacks and now non-alcoholic beverages. Yes, I have been here a few times to sneak a snack on my way to a flight. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. A video gaming area, computer bays with internet access, printing and fax capabilities, and a children's playroom for those veterans who may be traveling with family. Anything we can do here in the city of Phoenix to make your stay more pleasant, we are going to do. So any ideas you have about how we can up our game to support the USO, we, myself, Jim Bennett from the Airport Sky Harbor team, we are all ears. Today is a great day. Happy 75th. The 4 years now that we've been here at this location have been awesome, and I look forward to hearing the announcement about how USO Arizona is growing and doing even more to support our active duty military women and men. Happy birthday. Let's get this party started.
Thank you so much, Mayor Stanton. We want to continue now the celebration with our Aviation Director, Phoenix Sky Harbor, Jim Bennett.
Thank you very much, and congratulations once again on your 75th. Anybody that knows me, when I started to work in the aviation business, I said the main thing about working at an airport is you have to have fun. If we can't have fun doing our job, then we ought to be looking for something else to do. And what a better way to have fun than to celebrate a birthday party for the USO here at Sky Harbor. It's a good time. Congratulations again. You know, this operation would not be successful if it weren't for the volunteers, for the contributors, for the staff that work here. Understanding that airports don't work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. They work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. And this facility is open from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And it's located here in Terminal 4, where 85% of all of the passengers that travel through Sky Harbor Airport come through this facility. So it's a great strategic location. When it first opened, it was down in Terminal 2, but we were able to get it up here in 2012, and it's been here ever since. And so the staff, the contributions that are made by its many donors, the volunteers, they're just a very important component in what makes Sky Harbor America's friendliest airport. So thank you very much, and congratulations once again on 75 years of service. Thank you.
Next up today, we want to welcome the Deputy Wing Chaplain to the 56th Fighter Wing at Luke Air Force Base, home to 23 squadrons with both F-16 and F-35A Lightning II aircraft. The 56th is the largest fighter wing in the U.S. Air Force and graduates more than 300 F-16 pilots and 300 air control professionals annually. Please welcome Major David Barnes.
It is my honor to also congratulate the USO on 75 years of exceptional work. I have experienced USO firsthand, and I think that's why Carla asked me to come and speak, just from me and my experiences with the USO. It started when I first came in, traveling TDYs and so forth in the airports, but as I grew in my chaplain career, the USO has been a huge supporter of chaplain service, and I think part of it's because the USO's role and what you do to care for the warriors is the same role that the chaplains play and care for our members and their families. And so it ties in very well. And USO, specifically Arizona, I'll speak to you guys since we're here in Arizona, has been a huge supporter since I came to Luke about 2.5, almost 3 years ago. Started partnering with the USO, and they help us with everything from our Flight Line Ministry Center that reaches out to our maintainers. They're out there working on those F-16s and F-35s in the hot 120-degree heat of Arizona in the summertime. And because of USO, this last year, we supported about 48,000 visits into our ministry center and handed out probably, I think our estimates are 123,000 snacks and about 65,000 water bottles to our maintainers. And many of those snacks and water were compliments of the USO from donations that they've made to us, continuing to help support those airmen. They support us with our deployed families. We have monthly deployed family dinners for our families whose members are deployed and for those who are about to deploy and just returning from deployment. And the USO has partnered with us on that, specifically in December. It's a great time, and they come and help sponsor that dinner and provide all kinds of great activities and gifts for those children and families that are there. And just here in January, I think, we did a big event for our airmen that live in the dorms, and USO came alongside us and sponsored that event. And so it's just endless, the kind of things that the USO is able to help us in our ministry reach out to the airmen of Luke Air Force Base and ultimately around the world. USO, I can't say enough about the things that they do to support not only the airmen, but the soldiers and the sailors, the Coast Guardsmen and the Marines, in every aspect. We have almost all of those on Luke, and so you support all of those. And so thank you so much for the support that you give us. And my kids, I cannot come to Sky Harbor Airport to pick up a family member without coming and get a candy bar and a Coke from the USO here. So thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain Barnes. Our next speaker has served 19 years in the United States Marine Corps and has risen to ranks of First Sergeant, currently serving as the First Sergeant for 6th Engineer Support Battalion, 4th Marine Logistics Group, receiving personal awards including the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 3 gold stars in lieu of 4th award and the Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. Please welcome First Sergeant Benjamin Suter.
I suppose I should start by saying happy birthday. Thank you to Carla, Kelly, the entire USO staff. I can't quantify how helpful, how supportive they've been, at least in my 20 years of service. I can proudly say that I think even FDR would say that you've not only met but exceeded his expectations in terms of the support for us, all branches of service, for the 75 years of existence. It's been strengthening military families by keeping us close to home, family, and country for 75 years. I'd like to share with you just a few stories about how they've directly impacted my life, my career, my family, my Marines. And it starts back in 2003. I was headed home for Christmas with 4 little kids. And it was the USO who rescued us from arrivals and departures on the curb and it grabbed our bags, took us into the actual USO, treated my kids like royalty, treated me like royalty. And it was almost embarrassing because of how supportive they were. Not only that, in our layover, there were in Denver, there was USO staff, for whatever reason, waiting for us there. And then on the flight back, again, the same thing again. It's just unreal. How do they even know? I don't know. To this day, it still blows me away. In 2010, during a deployment for OEF in Afghanistan, it was the USO who sponsored some 250 care packages and had them delivered to Marines in some of the most remote areas in the Helmand province. Some Marines without families, some Marines without who may have lost contact with families and loved ones during that deployment, and I think that captures what the USO is here to do, and that really connects them to a country that truly cares about what they're doing. So thank you for that. And finally, most recently, in May of 2015. A tragic helicopter crash in Nepal, and I received a call to do the casualty assistance for a young Marine who perished in that crash. And the USO was there with us every step of the way. I think I have Kelly on speed dial during that time frame. But the outpouring of support from the moment that it happened all the way until we had the funeral honors. And even now, I can't walk into Sky Harbor without running into some of the volunteers, running into some of the staff who still talk about that, who still ask if we need anything, who still ask if they can support. Again, I can humbly say FDR would be proud that his vision has expanded the way that it has. I know I'm proud, and I know it sounds cliche, but it only happens in America. So God bless the USO, Godspeed, and remain semper fidelis.
Next up today, we want to welcome the Adjutant General for Arizona and concurrently serving as the Director of the Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs. He's responsible for managing the day-to-day activities of the 8,000-member department, including Arizona's Army and Air National Guard and the Division of Emergency Management. Please welcome Major General Michael T. McGuire.
Well, good morning, everybody. Carla, thank you very much for inviting me out. Mayor Stanton, thank you. And to the airport, what a gracious host and an outstanding place to show our support for our soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. I'll start off by saying that for my brothers in arms here, no general officer wants to speak after a Marine Corps First Sergeant. That's a fact. And so thank you very much for your service, partner. This is a tough spot to be in. But it is a great day. And I wanted to take a couple of minutes. Carla said, hey, you're the keynote speaker today. I said, all right, well, I'm also the last person between you and what looks to be a very nice birthday cake and cupcake spread over there. So we'll make sure that we get over there. But I think it's important to understand that, as Mayor Stanton mentioned, while Phoenix is very clearly on the path to be number one in the most military-friendly cities in the nation, as a member of Governor Ducey's cabinet, I can tell you that he's looked at me and said that Arizona is going to be the most military-friendly state in the nation. And that in the republic that we so proudly take an oath to support and defend, that all 50 states are in some way in this competitive enterprise. And so I think it's important for all of us to reflect on what is in Arizona. In Arizona, not only are there 8,000 proud Army soldiers serving in the Arizona Army National Guard and airmen in the Arizona Air National Guard, we have over 23,500 active duty soldiers, Marines, and airmen around the state, and over 7,500 Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Marine reservists, and over 625,000 veterans. So when you add all those numbers up, 1 out of 8 people in this state has been directly involved in the support and defense of this nation. And so when you look to find volunteers to do these kind of things, you realize that there is no better place than Arizona to find it. And as I've looked around, I've thought routinely that, one of the things that many of us that are involved in the strategic level discussions about local, state, and federal policy come down to how do we budget for things? How do we have the most capable aircraft, the F-35, and new equipment for the Navy and their aircraft carriers, and advanced capabilities for the Army and Marines. And there's a lot of fighting about budgets and how many soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors, and Coast Guardsmen we need in formations. But I can tell you that the strength of this nation lies not in any of those debates, but in the selfless service attitude that we have that's represented by the volunteers here at the USO and every other organization around this state. Remember that those 2.3 million that are currently serving all volunteered. Not a single one of them was drafted. No one's been conscripted. They know that they could pay the ultimate price. They know that. They also know that they can't do it without your support, because there is no tip of the spear without the will of the entire nation to invest our blood and treasure. There is no one involved in combat without all the people behind us. So regardless of what side of the aisle you're from, what city you're from, what county, what state, as a nation, we work together. We have our parochial differences amongst the services, and that competition makes us stronger. It makes us stronger, but we don't do anything without the undying support of the communities that have supported us. And the USO, not unlike many other volunteer organizations, has gone the extra mile for 75 years to make sure that this organization proudly steps up, puts out that red, white, and blue logo. And those of us in uniform are very, very proud of the things that all of you do to support us. So on behalf of all of the currently serving members of the military in every component, Guard, Reserve, and Active, and all of the veterans, I want to say happy birthday and thank you for your support.
No executive director of the USO wants to follow the Adjutant General after. Very kind words from all of the speakers today. Thank you very much. We are very humbled by the presence of all of the military here, all of the community sponsors and supporters, our volunteers, and the airport couldn't be more supportive. So what's next? A lot. I teased you earlier about what's coming, and there's a bit coming, and I wanted just to briefly announce that this spring, USO Arizona will open its second location at the MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, in downtown Phoenix. We will be there 5 days a week. And we'll let you know when we have the opening, so you can all come back. We're excited to be there when service members take their oath, because then we're truly with them all the way and always by their side. So we're excited about that. We're excited to continue to provide programming and services all across the state, from Fort Huachuca to Yuma Marine Corps Air Station and all of the other installations. We're programming, we're there, and you're going to see more of us. So we're excited to be here for you. So I wanted to say some brief thanks before we go to the cake cutting and the open house, which I hope you all will join us for. We have a huge lunch provided by our sponsoring partner, Fry's Foods. And Pam, Gina, Nadia is here, and thank you, Pam, and all of the Fry's Foods family. I want to thank you. Delicious cake, all kinds of goodies, and thank you. I want to thank my team, Kelly Sandbrink and Maricela Rodriguez, for their effort and work, and we're a solid team, and we work very well together, and the 250 volunteers with the USO. You are the heart of the USO, and you deliver the mission with grace. My advisory council is made up of Jonathan Elisecki of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Bob Nelson of Fry's Food Stores, Karen Hanks of USAA, Don Taylor, who is U.S. Marine Corps and part of the Veterans Hall of Fame. Don, thank you. And Stacia Naquin with NBC 12 News. And we're growing, our advisory council as well. Our advisory council is very active and involved in all we do. Also like to recognize Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, which I hope is here, but they provide grant sponsoring support to us to help us deliver some of these great programs, such as United Through Reading and Kids Camps and all kinds of other programs that we can take down to Davis-Monthan or to Fort Huachuca and all points. And also our founding sponsor, American Airlines, City of Phoenix Aviation, as well as the Support Sky Harbor Coalition, who puts on a fabulous golf tournament every year, and we are the recipient of some funds. And I wanted to just plug that February is Courageous Hearts Month with our Fry's Foods partner, and all month in Fry's Food stores, as well as CBS 5, the USO has once again been selected as one of the recipients of a campaign. At the registers, basically, you fill out a heart and dedicate it to a loved one in service, active duty, reserve, veteran, what have you. But we would be honored if you would support us and support Fry's, as they're a huge supporter of ours. And that's all. We want to welcome all of you. Stay all day. We have plenty of food, lots of water, coffee. We want to make you feel welcome and appreciated. And our volunteers that, again, are in the blue shirts, find them. We're going to be having tours in about 5 minutes, so we'll take you in groups. Ask them questions. We've got some history majors that are going for their PhD. We've got folks who know USO history and would love to share it with you. And they really want to reach out and they want to engage with you. So thank you. We're going to have some cake cutting ceremony, and then we welcome you into the center. Happy birthday, USO!